And welcome back to the In 90 Minutes podcast where passion meets the pitch and the purple runs deep. This week, the Lions roared louder than ever. We owned rivalry week with the first team and OCB both taking to Inter Miami. Charlotte came and went midweek, another win in the books. And now, with our sights set on the U.S. Open Cup, Nashville stands in the way of the next chapter in this season's story. From rival takedowns to cup dreams, we've got it all. Buckle up. This is the Lions Over Legends episode, so let's get into it. First off, thank you to everybody listening. So whether you've been listening to us from the start or just found us, we appreciate you being part of the fam. If you haven't already, like, follow, and subscribe wherever you get your content. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, X, or Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, and Blue Sky. And of course, don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify so you never ever miss an episode. As usual, joining me are the usual suspects who bring it all in. Misael, John, and David. Gentlemen, what's up? What's up? We have a lot to talk about today. How are you gentlemen doing this fine Monday?
Good. Very good, actually.
Free Monday.
Man, a few words.
In fact, my guys, I was tempted to bring my broom and dustpan to symbolize how I feel about sweeping Inter Miami and Inter Miami 2 in the same weekend. And also, our good friend Taylor Williams from Orlando City, UK, reminded us in his latest column that we have defeated all our rivals by beating them senseless and not considering a goal. We beat Atlanta 3-0. We beat Rowdies 5-0. And FIFA and El Pesi's David Beckham's Inter for Lauderdale 3-0. Embarrassed them nationwide, internationally, actually.
Uh, you know, I don't want to get into it now, but this feels sweeter than anything in a long time. Oh my gosh. Ah. I said if there was one game we could not give up, it was this one. And
Definitely.
okay. All right, so let's talk about stuff going on around the league. This past weekend, I'm still here, surviving. The Orlando City had their Purple Pride 5K. I am proud to say that I survived. I am still in pain, but I did survive. There was about 2,000 people, give or take. It was very nice. They had a little after party afterwards, so if you were there, it was great. Glad to see the club doing other things in the community. Gents, I didn't think any of you guys were there. Were you?
I'm too fat to run 5K.
Yeah, my physique betrays me, unfortunately, my friends.
Misael, I thought you were going to be there, no?
Yeah,
No, this is the second one that I missed. I've done the other ones. But,
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot.
No, it's funny. Even when I played soccer in high school, I was not. If you told me to go run 2 miles, I couldn't. Mentally, I couldn't do it. And then but I could play. Play the entire match multiple times.
Yeah.
And because I wasn't thinking about it, was fine. Obviously, it's different. You're not jogging constantly, but still, I just always found the mental part of and 5K isn't even really distance to a lot of people, but
Yeah, but at
running,
90 degrees, it felt
Yeah.
like it was,
running any distance whatsoever more than like a 100-yard sprint was not something I was mentally able to do when I was younger. And now that I weigh a lot more than I did in high school, it's not even an option.
Well, don't get me wrong. I've only missed 2, but I jog, and then when I get tired, I'm speed walking. I'm not jogging the whole time. Some of these people finish like in 10, 12 minutes, and it's like, no way, dude. Like,
Yeah,
not
man.
me.
Yeah, there were people. I think the fastest person finished it in like 17 minutes.
Yeah.
And my son did it in 22, I think. I was like, dude, I mean, you know what? I shouldn't be surprised. He's 12 and he plays soccer 4 days a week. So I'm like, you better at this point, right? So yeah.
No, and one thing, this was it's a traditional event. that
Hmm.
unfortunately, for whatever reason, I'm not gonna throw crap at the club because they tried to correct the situation, and I'm glad that they're listening to the fans, as we're gonna speak about in a minute. And they brought the event traditionally. For those that are new to the club or not familiar with Orlando City, this was part of the activities for the preseason. They didn't have it. People were really upset because they were looking forward to it. The club decided to have it now, and I think they have learned their lesson. People accuse MLS and American sports of not having traditions. Well, this was our tradition. People look forward to it, and if I may, gentlemen, I had a conversation with my season ticket rep, where they call. They're like, "Hey, how's everything?" And I just pour out my soul out there about the things that I felt were important, that we were not doing. And they're very good at listening. That's why I invite you guys to pick up the phone, talk to them when they call you, and also fill out the season ticket holder surveys that they
Survey.
send us. Thank you. So, uh, as a result of all that, the club has announced that June 7th, uh, right now, details are being worked out. We're gonna have a signing and picture event at the training facility. I believe it's a Saturday. I know a lot of people are upset because they already have plans. This is sort of last minute. Personally, as you know, my Saturdays are already committed. But I'm gonna make the effort because I was the one asking for the event. So there's gonna be an opportunity to meet the players, talk to them, talk to Oscar, and so it's for season ticket holders. So please support it. Like we have said in the past, if we are going to be screaming that we want the 5Ks and the signing events and all this other stuff, and we don't support it, then they're gonna take it away. By the way, they had a signing event on Friday, very well attended. Unfortunately, everything during the week, as of right now, since I've been training for work, sometimes I can't make it. So anyhow, I just wanted to bring that up. If you're a season ticket holder, please look at your emails, and I will shut up now.
No, you won't, because you're gonna tell the fans or our viewers about our partnership, about our new partnership.
Yes. All right. So our new partnership in a nutshell is with hold on,
Orlando City Insider.
Orlando City Insider. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure that I got the name correctly. Um, they reach out to us, and partnership is basically, we're gonna share their content and they're gonna share ours. They are respectable folks. They're not animals like me, so that sort of gives us a little bit of a legitimate flair. I can tell you at the club, we this podcast has a very good relationship with the front office. I spoke with Ricardo Moreira on Saturday at the OCB game. We'll talk about it when as we move on. Our good friend Dennis Chin was in attendance, by the way, but he was with his family. He couldn't approach us, John. So he's sending his love as well. And anyhow, the new content creator who spoke with Ahmed at the Rowdies game. We have a good relationship with the club. It wasn't like that in years past, mainly because of me. I was a polarizing person. Some people in the front office didn't like me, and like I said before, you don't have to try to be my best friend. We love the club, and we want to do things for the club. So that's basically it. And we don't go around begging for people to watch us or support us or anything. We love Orlando City. The people that watch us, great. If you don't like it, that's fine too. So that's gonna be it. So please go over there on Instagram, like them, follow them. They're sharing stats and videos and things that we don't have access to because the four of us have jobs. Unfortunately, that coming between us and the love for the beautiful game of football. But that's pretty much it. And as I have already hinted, our boys at OCB play this Saturday, and John and I were in attendance, and I guess we can talk about that because it was a fantastic outing. By the way, I gave away two of my tickets to a person that is not a listener of the show, somebody that is from the Facebook group, and is a person that I do not know if it's financials or time or what. She's from Peru. She was telling me, "Hey, love Orlando City. I've been to a few games and I can't really make it out there, and I'm happy that the tickets went to her." She said she had a blast. It was a lot of fun. Like I keep telling you guys, let's support CB. The guys really, really appreciate it. I spoke with our good friend Thomas Williams, Loyola, Ellis, who had two assists and a goal. I mean, everybody, all the guys were so incredibly appreciative of our support, and that's how it should be.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So, go ahead.
go ahead, Ahmed.
No, I was gonna say. So we took on Inter Miami 2, OCB, and Inter Miami 2 this past Saturday. It was at 7:30 at Osceola Heritage Park, and it was one of three wins for us in the last three Well, one of the last wins this weekend. So the score was 3-0. I was not able to make it. So I was watching it online. It was a great match, but I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on the actual match. I'm glad that there were participants, people in attendance, because we say it all the time, and I'm hoping maybe that with a rivalry match like this, that it drives people to go back.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was very well attended. We were talking before the show. Maybe the most attended one. I feel like the Miami match last year may have been a little better attended. But yeah, either way, great attendance. I know a couple weeks ago when I was talking to Colin Gusky after the Rowdies match, he said, how the Orlando City B match and just period, how when they come out, how we give them a boost when they come out and see all the people in attendance. And overall, it was a great match by the boys. Probably our best looking match of the year. I mean, we played Miami about a month and a half ago as part of the Generation Adidas Cup or whatever. And they beat us. What was it? 3-1, 4-2, something like that. Obviously, forget the losses. But yeah, I mean, they looked very very professional in the win. It wasn't three fluke goals. It was a very professional win. Broke Miami down. Miami had their chances, but not the chances that we had that we put home. And yeah, good result for the boys. And while we're on it, I don't know if we're going to talk about it later, but Zachariah Taifi, earlier in the day Saturday, it was at about 4 p.m. It came out that he signed a homegrown contract with the first team.
Congrats.
Congratulations to him. Well deserved. The guy's been, after maybe a little bit of a down year last year, the guy's been rocking and rolling this year and absolutely showing that he deserves that first team contract. For those that don't know, he's only 19. Last year he didn't play much because he had somebody by the name of Alex Freeman in front of him. Freeman, I believe, is about a year older than him. Or maybe they're the same age. Maybe they're right about the same age, within a year of each other anyway. So something that was looked at as a liability coming into the season, in our right back position with coming in, it was who's going to back Dagger Dan up. I feel like now we have that right side pretty locked down for years to come. I know Freeman's probably going to be going to Europe. Maybe even as early as this summer, if he continues on the path he's on. But and then signing Zachariah to that contract, very well deserved, very exciting. Everybody had a great match that played. Really couldn't pick out a weak spot. Obviously, Ellis was a star with the 2 assists and the goal. Caraballo also had a goal, a cheeky little kind of half volley pass into the back of the net. And it was Shaq was the other. No, it was
Shaq Mohammed, yeah.
yeah. Shaq Mohammed had the other goal, which was an assist from Ellis. Nice ball over the top that Shaq is fast and beat out the center backs and tucked it home. So it was a good match, exciting match, fun to see the boys go out there and put on a show like they did. And that video that David shared on social media, Caraballo leading up to his goal, that wasn't the only time he made everybody look silly. It happened just about every time he touched the ball. And so he's one guy. If you want to see him play more, especially right now, go out and see him play because he is absolutely electric.
Without a doubt, my friend. And talking about that, that video on TikTok already has over 2,000 views, rightfully so. Gustavo Caraballo, how you want to say it? He is the real deal. Super humble. I spoke with him briefly. The guys are super engaged, super excited. They to them this was personal. It was a reality that they needed to make in front of our eyes. They went out there. They played Inter Miami off the state. Really, it was fantastic to see the boys put that much passion. To them, they were not playing for the reserves. They were playing for the Orlando City, and
Yes.
the fans that were there, they were all in. They didn't need Messi there on the pitch to feel any animosity towards this poor young man who probably will never see the pitch because their club, rather than reward them with a first team contract, they go on and sign men pushing 40. But anyhow, that's not our problem. OCB, fantastic work. The whole staff deserves to be congratulated. If you follow them on social media, you saw the picture in the dressing room. To me, this was a preview of what was going to happen 24 hours later. So if you follow us on social media, you saw, we were there. We hang out with flags. We were supporting young
Mm.
Barrett. Let them know how he felt about him.
Yeah,
And
and I mean that boy, he we knew. My girlfriend and I had the conversation when he was really young because we knew we would be taking him to matches. Obviously, soccer culture doesn't have the most family friendly language. So we knew it was going to be, potentially an issue. And we're going to make it from day one that,
no one batted an eye, John.
I know. I'm just explaining it for just clarity.
What did
Uh,
he say, John?
that
Yeah.
he could only say say curse words at the Orlando City matches. And trust me, he said his share of about up until he's probably about 12 years old of curse words at the match Saturday because he would go on rampages every once in a while. And the thing I love about that video of him screaming is just the absolute, people are going to hate this word, but the hatred he has for that club because he truly does seem to understand that Inter Miami as a club is completely against. Maybe he doesn't realize, but he seems to understand that it's against what we're for, what we want to
Our
see in
values.
soccer. And that was purely authentic. He asked if he could go over there and yell at the bus, and I said sure, and he marched over there and gave him his 2 cents worth.
Oh my God. Where was the video for those who did not see it, John?
So it's on the tail end of the video David posted on the socials.
It's
on
by itself as a short.
and then it's also on X on my personal page. And then did you put it as a short on YouTube, David?
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
All right.
So obviously we try to keep the show family friendly, but that specific video for certain families wouldn't be.
I don't think anybody will disagree.
No,
It's the right context, and I have to say,
And while we're on the topic, because this is a hilarious story, my dad just commented, "Getting a messy shirt at 7-Eleven brings it out of Barrett also." And this was when Barrett would have been about 2.5. So this was back in September, when my dad was in town, and also our friend Tom Lord was in town. So me and Barrett go and pick my dad up from the airport, and we stop at the 7-Eleven by the apartment we used to live at. My dad was staying right down the street at a hotel, and they had the Moss advertising, the energy drink or sports drink or whatever it is, Messi endorses. And Barrett comes up to me and goes, "Look, Dad," and he said the full word, but it's F Miami. I said, "That's right, Barrett." And then my dad was in the bathroom, so he goes up to my dad and goes, "Gampal," and points to the sign and says it. My dad has no idea what he says. So he says, "What'd you say, Barrett?" And I just let it go because I'm sitting here kind of laughing. So Barrett says it like 2 or 3 other times, but every time it gets progressively louder. And then I finally go, "Okay, Barrett." And my dad's like, "What's he saying?" And then I tell my dad, I think my dad might have had a mini heart attack when he
probably why is this toddler has so much animosity towards this city?
So yeah, it was that was a funny.
No, we had a great time, man.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to cut you off, but we had a great time. And again, I encourage everybody to go. I think Misael is the only one that has not been to OCB games. Is that correct, my friend?
Not this season, no.
I'm gonna kidnap you this season, Misael, and force you to go to one. We live close enough now.
Yeah.
No, for sure. So, great game. And kudos to the boys that after that game went down.
Yes.
As subs in Miami. But taking it back to you, Ahmed, because before we played Inter Miami 2, we had a game on Wednesday night at home.
I know we're fast forwarding to all the juicy stuff.
We are because we are still on a high.
I know.
What happened Wednesday is just as important.
Absolutely. So this past Wednesday, before we went down south, we faced before actually anything happened. We faced Charlotte at home, and I was in attendance. Were any of you gents in attendance? Who was?
I was there.
I was.
Yes.
There. I got there.
I had to work, unfortunately.
Yeah. I actually got there on time, but I was waiting for somebody that I needed to get in with me. So I was standing outside when the first goal was scored. I was watching it on my my phone as they scored that first goal. It was an awesome match. For me, if there was a match that we could give away, that would have been it. I was happy with the game. I was happy with what I saw. My concern was we were giving it so much. I felt like that I didn't want to lose steam, but I was wrong, and
we did what we're supposed to do, man. You play hard Wednesday, you come back, play hard Sunday.
Yeah, man. We came away with the dub, and I got no complaints about that game. It was a good match. It was what you'd want. I brought some people who had not been to a game first. That was their first game, I believe, and that was a good first game to watch, man.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic match. I mean, I thought, even though we gave up a goal, I thought it was a, very professional win. We let them into one goal. They really didn't. I mean, they had one shot on target all night, 8 shots total. So, I mean, you can't be too mad at that. And, and it just, we brought it up a couple weeks ago about Wilfred Zaha getting mad at the fans. If I was a Charlotte fan, I'd be absolutely enraged right now with his performance and his antics on the pitch, because the dude's one of the softest DPs I've ever seen. I mean, yeah, we talk about how, Inter Miami cries to the refs all the time and this and that and the other. Zaha is on another level. The dude's soft, proves why he couldn't make it in the Premier League, proves why he barely made it in the championship. Um, Dude gets touched by it, a fly lands on his shoulder and he's going down asking for a card. And then he had the one he did score, but he didn't really have to do much. It was a good shot. That's about it. And he didn't do much the rest of the night except for fall down and cry to the referee. So, um, you know, again, hats off to our midfield and fullbacks for dealing with him. Just overall, Zerbe had a great match. Again,
Bay, that's another one. That
kind of
by
kind of
that's
prefacing what we were going to see on Sunday, and it was a fun time. Fun Wednesday night match. Crowd was pretty decent for a Wednesday night, and um, it's 3 points, and we're starting our run. Every month, the last 2 seasons we did it about a month earlier. Started our run, and maybe this year we're starting it, continuing that trend, and instead of it being mid to late May, it's really something that started all the way back in March, because we haven't lost a match since, I think it was, off the top of my head, I think it was March 12th.
Don't say it.
So
Don't
it's something that the draws hurt, but it's something that's good to see that the team seems to be coming in form with, honestly, one of our better players being injured the majority of the time in Atuesta.
Absolutely, and that game against Charlotte also points to an important milestone. Dustin Ellis in his debut with the first team. This young kid
On his
has,
birthday too.
yes, 18 years old, and I say young kid because I'm old, but this young man, he is he's the real deal. If you like Freeman, behind him there's a bunch of other players, Williams, Taifi, and the list goes on. That basically are they're coming. Them boys are coming, to quote the great Charles Barkley. And I am so excited and so happy to see that finally our academy, after years of, oh, you gotta wait, you gotta trust the process, you gotta let these kids grow, and we can't throw them in a microwave. And finally, those kids that were in elementary school age when we joined MLS, now they are young adults and they're producing and they're joining the first team. Incredible performance that night. Obviously, by the time he comes in, the scores are already set. But if you saw him Saturday, you wouldn't doubt that the kid has a future. I think my view of the whole thing. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there because I have to pay bills, and so I had to go to work. I
You
was
don't have.
down south. On top of that, I was in Fifanel Pesi's backyard, and to make it short, fantastic way of rebounding from what we felt was a letdown on Saturday. The short rest, short week, knowing what was coming on Sunday. The boys went out there, got the result, the 3 points, something to build on. I believe now we have 11 games that we haven't lost. Obviously, getting ahead to Miami.
Yeah.
But what I have to say is, Wednesday games usually are poorly attended for very good reasons. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of you that live up to 2-3 hours away from Orlando, so obviously it's a tall ask to do that on a weekday. People have jobs, I like yours truly. People got kids, and fighting traffic and all that. So the fact of the matter is that it was very well attended for a Wednesday. So, excuse me, that speaks volumes about the loyalty that our club has for our team. Because here in Orlando, we don't follow a man, we follow a badge, we follow colors, we follow history, we follow traditions. And perhaps, because when we mention this, people will make fun of that. Perhaps, yes, our club is not 100 years old, but while you were born into a culture, we're creating a culture. So 100 years into the future, our brick on the wall will remain. So, make all the fun, all the joke that you want, whatever. The fact is that football has to start somewhere. You that probably live in England or Europe or whatever, and they like to go into our social media, clown us. I would love for you to like jump on the DeLorean, 88 miles an hour, and go to 1860 and make fun of those guys. Oh, you follow Arsenal? They're only 5 years old. It makes no sense, right? So instead of throwing mud at us, encourage us, to keep going. And it's there's a lot of hits and misses along the way, but not for nothing. In MLS, unfortunately, there's a lot of clubs that are microwave clubs. We are not those guys. We toil in USL. Since 2010 we've been around, and to be quite honest, I'm so proud because it means a lot to the players. It means a lot to our management. It means a lot to our front office. They're finally getting it, guys. That's why it's important that we support our club, we support the events that come with it, because if we do that, maybe just maybe 10 years from now, we can actually have an actual culture that is growing. And remember that next year with the World Cup here in the United States is our opportunity to make it a catalyst to bigger and better things. So I get off the microphone with this great game. Charlotte, to me, a regional rival that had to be put in their place. They were in the same run as us, not conceding goals, not losing games. Guess what? Cherry FC took the night off, and we showed.
What do you think of the match, Messiah? Did you say you were able to make it or no?
Yeah, I made it. I just wanted to clarify, unless I heard wrong, up until the Charlotte win, that was the 11 unbeaten. When we
Was
get
it?
to
Okay.
later to Miami, that it'll be 12. It's 12.
I think it's 12 all comps if you include the.
All comps, yes, all comps.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
You're right. Yeah, I was there. Great game, like you guys said. I don't want to touch on it too much because you guys said it all. The goal by Enrique, I thought was awesome. The pass to Enrique from Brecalo was excellent as well. I thought he was going to get the nod for against Miami to start Ramiro. But yeah, great game. Got the points, and I like Ahmed said earlier. I kind of thought the same. Where, if anything, I guess we would have, I would have accepted taking it a little light against Charlotte and rather have the win on Sunday. But I'm glad that they just, hey, we can take them both.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
That's
real
great.
quick go ahead. I'll say I
No,
got
go ahead.
to add when you're done.
Now go ahead. You're good.
All right. One thing, I mean, Brecalo, man, what I brought it up 2-3 weeks ago about him playing. We haven't lost a match since him and Janssen have been starting together on that left side. My buddy Luke, shout out to him. He's got a man crush on Brecalo right now because he texted me. I think it was no. It was either he said it Wednesday or the day after, or he texted me yesterday, and he said he said something to the effect of Poppy not playing Brecalo more, last year in the beginning of the season is absolute football terrorism. But we know Poppy; he loves to be a football, football terrorist and win ugly and stuff. So I kind of thought that was funny based on what tactical manager said. Was it 2 years ago, David? I think it was where he had the quote about Orlando City tactical manager put on social media.
Oh yeah. That's that. Listen, yeah, I don't want to interrupt you, but I have a thought on that. So I'll let you finish.
But yeah, man, just what class Brecalo has, isn't the fastest player, isn't going to beat you with his speed, but still somehow he, gets by people and just looks like when he's with the ball, just looks like he's, just in the park for a nice little jog. And that pass to Enrique was a beauty. Had some key stops, key moments. Had the and Luke's from England, so he his ancestors were singing Brecalo's praises on that tackle. He got the yellow card on. at midfield. I believe that was on Wednesday. It was either on the 2 Saturdays ago or on Wednesday. He had the tackle that got the yellow card at midfield. But yeah, what a revelation! What a player! Just he's been absolute class. This basically this entire season, and you can't. It's good to see. Good to see something we didn't. Somebody we didn't expect playing a position that we didn't sign him for, and he's done more than succeed in that position.
This I have to say quickly because otherwise we have so much to talk about. Jesus, we're already 40 minutes into the show. Listen, I know a lot of people love to say, "Oh, I've been popping in from the get go," and blah 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 blah. Listen, the Oscar that we signed is not the Oscar today, and Oscar told me that. He not only did he had a transformation and evolution thanks to the players, thanks to the needs. If you look how we used to play when he got here, the Papi special, scoring a goal and then bunkering and praying that the other team wouldn't score. We have moved from that to what you saw this past week, what you've been seeing, which is a fast attacking team that is very good defensively. So when people go after me and go, "Oh, well, you were a Papi," listen, I am glad that Oscar has modified the way he plays. And again, I know that a lot of people still had their doubts about him, but we went to Miami and we beat the crap out of them. And it's trickling down. If you look at OCB, you look at our academy, those guys are winning trophies. That we have a winning culture, and you know what happens when you start winning? People start showing up. It's contagious. Winning is contagious in an organization. It's contagious. So to say that one of the things to me that is above all else is that the guys are bought into the system. The guys play for Oscar. The guys play for the fans. When they asked Marco Pasalic if the derby meant something to him, a normal person would have said, I'm new here. I don't know what the animosity. I wasn't here last year. It's just another game. No, he said, no. In Croatia, it's blood on the water. The fans already told me that we have to win. We're gonna do it. And I'm not paraphrasing. You can go watch the videos. The evidence is there on social media where the guy says, no, we're gonna go down there. We're gonna bring the hurt. Okay, we're gonna bring the hurt. And one of the things that I have to say is that our guys are representing us. They step on that pitch and they play to win, and that's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking because you know what? Wednesday, while I couldn't be at the game, but I watched it at home, obviously. But I was out there working, toiling away to pay for my season tickets, pay for my merch. I went to the outlets yesterday and got myself a new rain jacket and the new jersey. By the way, 40% off, 50% off on the jacket. Made out like a bandit. With that said, listen, that money has to come from somewhere, and I work really hard. I have said it many times. I work really hard. I don't want to hear excuses. I don't mind losing if the other team is better. I do hate being charity FC. I hate football terrorism, like John already called it. And I don't feel, guys, that we are in that direction. Yes, we had a streak of a bunch of ties, and we lost 2 games at the beginning of the year that I felt we should have won. But that's football, man.
Yeah.
Cruel and unpredictable. We say it all the time.
And to put that phrase into perspective for those that aren't aware, basically a couple of years ago, it was when we had won a couple matches in a row. Or maybe it was at the beginning of the season when we had a couple draws in a row or whatever, and I'd say he's fairly big. I mean, he does interviews with Alexi Lawless. I know people don't like Alexi, but Alexi's about as big as it gets in this country when it comes to soccer personalities and tactical managers. Done several shows with him, but he put basically Orlando City, paraphrasing the quote. Orlando City's has this many goals for, this many goals against. Their average time of possession is, I think at the time it was close. It may even been in the 30s, but yet they've still they still have this many points, and they put pure football terrorism or something like that. Because if you guys remember, to David's point, 2 years ago, we were not looking like an attacking, exciting team to go out and watch. It was pretty dreadful to watch, to be honest with you, which is where tactical manager was getting with that. And I just thought that's funny. My buddy brought it up after, having tactical manager say that.
Okay. So, on to the news of the week. We went down to Fort Lauderdale to the makeshift bleachers stadium. If you've ever been there, the bathrooms are like, you ever been somewhere where they have the real nice porta potties?
Like the county
real
fair.
nice ones.
Yeah, the trailer porta potties.
Yeah, the really really nice one, like they're air conditioned and you have the steps, and that's where we went down to play Inter Fort Lauderdale, and we walked away with the 3 points. We walked away with the 3 points and the bragging rights, and we played, I think, an amazing match. What really disappointed me, I didn't get to go, and I told my son yesterday, I'm like, from today on, we're gonna try to make it to every single away match. Well, when we're at Inter Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, I was gonna say, whoa, must be
No,
nice.
no. I ain't gonna do that, man.
So that's my dream. When I retire, I plan to go to every away game and write a book. That's
Because when we went to the Rowdies game, it was so nice, and it reminds you the away matches are nice, especially if you go with the group. It's a fun atmosphere, and
That's great.
what better atmosphere to go than to go down to Fort Lauderdale for the rivalry. So I'm gonna make sure I try to do that going forward. But anyway, what disappointed me was the coverage, right? The coverage of the game. It's like if we did a good job, it was like, oh, it was because Miami made a mistake. If Miami did something good, it was like, oh, look at Messi. Not look at. It's like we know why he's here. Just call the game so that everybody watching can enjoy it, right?
Oh, the referee did.
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously. Right? The thing about it is, and I've always said it when I talk to my son, drink again, because Ahmed's talking about youth soccer, right? It's like you were there. I lost my train of thought. Shit.
About how they were calling the game.
Yeah, I'll remember it. Anyway,
Well, I mean, to add on to your point while you recollect your thoughts, I almost put in the group chat and then something happened and I forgot about it, but I only watched the 10 minutes of the pre-show because I knew what it was going to be. It was going to be all about Miami and Messi and what's gone wrong and how it's the coach's fault, not the player's fault, not the fact that they have a striker who can barely make it up a flight of steps.
Yeah.
But it literally was, at points, it was like watching it was like we were watching Miami's home broadcast, home announcers do the game.
Yeah, and I remember. Thank you, John.
That's going to happen when they're paying part of his salary too.
I get it, but technically, isn't every team also? I mean, come on.
Not really, because it's Apple and Adidas, the MLS. The owners,
I thought the teams were partially also.
That was part of the rumor when he came over, from what I understand.
Okay, but it's not.
But a lot of the owners said no, we're not doing that. That's
good.
Yeah.
But so my point, the point I was trying to get at before is that when you get to this level, the expectation is you're professional athletes. You win because you're better, but because the other person made a mistake and you're able to capitalize on that mistake. So when people are making mistakes and you're trying to downplay it, you're going against the whole freaking point, right? We know they made a mistake and they're like, oh, when the first goal that we made, Muriel, the assist by Galese, and if that were Messi, they'd be like, "Oh my God, did you see that play?" The first words out of their mouth was like, "Well, Muriel hasn't had the first best half, and good throw by Galese, but good." There was no excitement about it because it wasn't their team. Like, give me a break. Like, what?
Their mistake came from our defense.
Well, their mistake
Exactly.
coming from being a bunch of
Exactly.
whiny little babies trying to
Well, that too.
get a
Yeah,
call
yeah.
when there was no call there.
I was just, oh my God. That's the other thing about youth soccer. You learn to play till the whistle, right? If the whistle doesn't blow, you go. You keep going. And here they're like trying to tell the ref how to do his job. Just
Yeah.
I,
play the game.
yeah, I have a little bit of a different perspective because, as you guys know, I like to watch the games in Spanish. Our good friend, Orlando City legend, um,
Miguel.
Miguel Gallardo. Thank you. I just
Yeah,
went in
no.
a mental lagoon there because I'm getting old. He's on the preview. The Spanish version of 360, and they ask him, "Who do you think is gonna win?" And of course, the Fifanel Pesi riders there. The Pesi posse there. We're expecting him to say, "Oh well, my," and our boy, our legendary Miguel Gallardo was like, "No, Orlando's gonna win," and like somebody like popped the oxygen out of the studio. They're like, "Oh really?" And he's like, "Yeah, Miguel, I already communicated with him on social media. But if for whatever reason you're watching or listening to this, he called him, man. It's like he should have you should have played the lotto, Miguel, because he called it. He's like, Orlando City's gonna punish them with youth and speed, and that's exactly what happened. Shocking that you have 40-year-old men or pushing 40 versus a team that the medium age is 24. You have guys that are not old enough to drink in our starting lineup, and they punish you with speed. Lo and behold, Messi tried everything. Messi should have never been on the pitch. That's not worthy of another yellow call, a yellow card. The ref, I feel, put them in their place. Oh, you want to talk crap? Yellow card. Oh, you don't want to do what I said because I'm the authority. I don't care that you have all these gifted trophies. I don't care about that. I'm the man on the hour. And if and my partner here is telling me that it's time to get off the phone. My good, but, hold on a second. I'll be back in a second.
Yeah. I mean, watching him with the ref was very surprising because honestly, I don't know if you also, when they lost to Minnesota also, and how he went back at the end of the game to
Yeah,
the
he was
ref
ready to fight
and he
that
got
ref.
in his face. And I'm just like, dude, like, I get it. You're messy. You think you're the
Right.
whatever,
And I'm
right?
about to tell you this. So the guys calling the game basically said the same thing. They're like, hey, instead of arguing with the ref, you go and defend, which is something that Messi never does. He never defends. Muriel, and I'm gonna do it publicly. I need to put my foot in my mouth because I have said a bunch of crap about Muriel, and some of it rightfully, obviously age has caught up with the guy. He's not the guy of years past, but Luis Muriel defends. He actually takes defensive duties,
And he
something that,
presses.
that Messi doesn't do. And
Dude.
guess what? It paid off.
Yeah.
High dividends. We punished them. All the goals came from the breakaway, fast the what in basketball they call fast break. If you look at it, the Muriel goal was like that. The Brecalo came after we punished them with speed, and then we also had a set piece, and the three of the goals that we missed were deflections that otherwise would have gone in, and by the way, congratulations to Dagger Dan, who has become a father, has joined that exclusive
Oh,
club that
nice.
all four of us are part of, and he just put the nail in the coffin. By the way, Duncan McGuire, unselfishly, I
What a pass.
understand. I understand. You want to score because that's why you are. You're a striker. The man put team above himself with such a beautiful assist. That's when you know that we have something special brewing in Orlando. When we decide, you know what, personal glory be damned, let's win the game. We went down to Miami. We embarrassed them. People that were there were telling me that by the time the second goal came in, people were leaving already.
Oh yeah, I mean, and the thing about Duncan is he was the man 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He started the majority of the matches in 23.
Mm-hmm.
and now he's, depending on the match, for first striker off the bench or second striker off the bench. And the dude just comes in and hustles and does and that's we said that last year and 2 years ago. The dude comes in and he does what he needs to do for the team to win. And yeah, Muriel, on David's note, what he did leading up to that goal from Marco, I'm shocked he wasn't. I'm shocked Messi's bodyguard didn't come out and tackle him, because that was just abuse. What he did, Rabona dribble to the little, like, literally, two small touches, Rabona dribble, and then the pass to, I think was it Freeman he passed it to,
Mm-hmm.
whoever was just on the right side of him. Yeah, it was Freeman.
Quick thing,
Um,
guys. I'm sorry, John. I just want to bring this up from the Orlando International official uh, X account. Florida is purple.
yep,
God
the
bless.
airport even got in on it. But
Nice.
I mean, yeah, yeah. I was very pleased with the referees last night. I thought the referee did a good job. The thing that gets me, and this is kind of nitpicking, but every match I've seen the man play in MLS, he's constantly asking the ref to give a yellow card to the other team. My understanding is that was supposed to be an instant yellow card to the player asking to give it. That's always been my understanding, is if a player
Guess
asks
what,
the
buddy?
ref to give an opponent the yellow card, it's supposed to be an instant yellow card for that player.
Listen, they
Oh,
were
so
they were
you're
crying
saying
all
a total of
game.
3 yellows for him.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? Listen, I'm gonna say this one thing. I know for a lot of our audience and a lot of our fan base, our Uruguayan, Argentinian, that this, Suarez, a dirtbag, one of the dirtiest players. What I want to do to Luis Suarez is be in a cell, toe to toe, so I can break his teeth. Don't like the guy. Don't
Well,
like
you just got
Messi.
to make a no biting rule, and you'll win.
Right. It's my rabies shot are up to date. So I know I'm gonna offend you by saying this, because whatever, like cheat steal. I understand South America operates under those rules, but when you see him stepping over Gales's foot, which he could have broke his foot.
Bro, he knew exactly
He
what
knew
he was
I
exactly.
know.
doing. Give
What a
me an effing
dirty,
break, bro.
dirty scumbag. But football won Sunday. The world is healing because the ref stood up and said, "You know what? I'm not gonna be like that clown that we brought from El Salvador for the Leagues Cup. You guys remember last year
You mean
that Messi was like, yeah, exactly, Mister Wink Wink. That guy Messi asked for a yellow, yellow. Oh, he didn't touch me. I just threw myself, yellow. I mean, no, the fact of the matter is he put them in their place. That's all they can do. It's all barking, all you blah, blah, blah. You know what? You know what wins games? Talent. Talent. The one thing that me that was a positive is
There were
that
a lot of
once
positives Sunday.
yes,
Don't
absolutely.
make it sound like there's only a
No, no, no,
couple.
no, no. This one is for Miami. Is soon all the Goodwills in South Florida are gonna have 2 for 1, 2 for $1. Messi number 10 pink jerseys. I'm
The
telling you,
Victoria's Secret jersey?
I saw something. I haven't mentioned this. I haven't said anything. I was at the outlets spending money that I don't have, as always, and I went to the Adidas outlet, and they had Orlando City and obviously the phony pink team, and there was two tours from Korea, and they go to the obviously they make a beeline for the FIFA Pesi stuff, and they look at it, and then they see Robin's picture on this for those that are on the Facebook group. They I took the picture to let people know about that the sale, and they look at it and they read what he says. And if you guys give me 2 seconds, I will share that with you. Let's see here. Anyways, they read what he says, and they look at me and they said, "Who do you support?" because obviously they saw me looking at the Orlando stuff, and I said, "Well, I
All
live
the
here."
people to ask.
I say I live here, and this is my club, and it basically says our team, our terms. And he's like, "Are they any good?" And you know what I said? I said, "It doesn't matter what I think. I love him." That was enough for that young man. It was like he's young. This guy, early 20s, with his dad. He put the jersey, the Fifanel Pesi jersey back, and he grabbed one of ours. He grabbed one of ours, and that just brought me so much joy because my answer was exactly what he needed to hear. Are they any good? I said, I don't. It doesn't matter what I say. I just love
Yeah.
it, and that's what matters. If you look at the one out of all the stuff that the social media posted, by the way, social media on point. There's two things that I will take with me out of. By the way, I was till 3 o'clock in the morning on overdrive sending memes. Had I had my Twitter account, probably I would have lost it anyways. But again, was the picture of Oscar in the locker room
By himself.
Yeah,
by
that
himself
was
in black
great.
and white. You know,
Yeah, that was great.
Mark, the club's photographer. He knows who we are. I sent him all my love and affection. He knows I told him a gazillion times how much I appreciate his talents and his work.
He's incredible.
He's
Almost
incredible.
any picture you see the club post is from him.
Hmm. He's just a talented
he
an
takes
artist.
photography, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's just taking pictures," and he's one of those people that turn it into an art.
And
Yeah.
the other one was the guys like dancing and screaming and jumping. That's the difference when you have a organic fan base and you recruit players not only for their talent but for the content of their character. Simple as that. I never been so prouder to be part of this fan base. And I hope you that are listening or watching feel the same way because the boys played like this mattered to them, and that's the difference between us and the people that on the 60th minute were heading out for the exits.
Yeah, I mean, to add on to that, David, you think about it, and I dislike this individual as a coach a lot, but you think about what for those that follow American football, the Harbaugh quote, what his dad used to say over dinner all the time. He'd ask who's got it better than us, and the family would answer nobody. Right now, who has it better than us? Our academy's thriving. OCB, our B team's near the top of the table. We haven't lost a match in a very long time. We just beat our rivals. We just beat two of our rivals, the combined score of I believe, aggregate score of 6-0. Our team is coming together. This team, obviously, and the coach know and understand what these matches mean to us, the fans and supporters. Because you listen to them, and obviously I don't understand a lick of Spanish hardly. Um, so it's all through interpreter. But I read what these guys are saying after maybe a draw or whatever. Like Ojeda, after he got the hat trick, his presser was basically, "Yeah, I got a hat trick, but I don't care. We didn't win, and I know we let our fans down here." Like that's what you want to hear from the guys. You don't want to hear excuses like some fans give. You don't want to hear your stars lashing out to fans saying we're too hard on them like Zaha did and with Charlotte. The team, and I was thinking about it last night after the match. The team in this club, this right now, and I'm trying to keep it in perspective, but with everything that's going on with the club, this is honestly, as a whole, a high point for the club. We have Open Cup that, David's pounded it into everybody's brain that the Open Cup we're favored to win. We've got a team that, it keeps looking recently better and better and better. We have a guy that cost us nothing in Gerbe pocketing, one of the greatest footballers ever. I mean, absolutely pocketing him. And it's amazing. It's awesome. I mean, if you don't sit back and look at that, look at what's happened in the last month and a half with our club, and you don't feel a sense of optimism or positivity, then that's on you, because right now I am. There you go. Yep, exactly.
So for those of you who are listening, and I was waiting to bring this conversation up, I have a picture that I want to guess that Connor of the Orlando City media side had put together a picture of Jerron Gervais with something in his pocket. And what is that other than a miniature Leo Fifanel Pessi?
There you go. Look at that.
One other thing before I'm done, before I'm done, I hand it over to the other guys. I don't know if you guys saw, but Pedro and Suarez got chirping at each other in the second half last night.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They were. If you go back and play and watch it, yeah, they were. It was a time when Suarez was kind of Gillespie was trying to clear the ball, and
Oh
Suarez
yes.
was kind of shadowing him. That goes back a decade or more. From them playing it and in CONMEBOL and stuff, and competing against each other for their respective countries, and that was awesome to see as well.
Yeah. The funny part about it was watching it. Suarez was trying to, like, that one specific time that I could think of. Suarez was like trying to tell the ref, like, look, he's not kicking the ball. Like, he needs to
Yeah.
go. He's wasting time. Blah blah blah. I mean, like, come on, just let the ref do his job.
Definitely.
Really quick, since John was talking about perspective and what he was saying, just to piggyback off him, the last time we lost was March 8th against NYCFC in New York. That was our third regular season match. That's the last time we lost.
Nice, nice.
We talk.
Uh,
That's what
thing-
a month and a half, or
yeah, something I believe there's only Columbus has one less defeat than us. We're two in the league with the least amount of defeats. That's two. Obviously, Columbus has one. Misael, if you don't mind reading the comments after I get off the microphone, I just want to point out that our good boy Ivan Angulo has reached another milestone, 100,
Mm-hmm.
100
James.
games on under our badge. Again, when we criticize players, we do so because that's what a podcast is. If you want to watch a podcast where everything is awesome and lollipops, and maybe you need to watch the official North Korea MLS coverage. They are very supportive, and everything is great because otherwise they're gonna get their heads chopped off. But we appreciate what the guys do. You know, Ivan Angulo, it's obscene that a fat man like myself, will criticize an athlete like him, a guy that can run back and forth, 12 miles a night. Meanwhile, I get winded just going to my car to drive to the Wendy's drive-through to get a spicy chicken sandwich combo with a large diet Coke, of course. So it's obscene,
No
but
Frosty, David.
no frosted, lactose intolerant, unfortunately.
Oh,
Otherwise,
man.
But I just wanna say, I am very happy, very proud of the people that put on our collars and go out there, and not for nothing, he smoked a lot of people and make them look like fools. And congratulations to Ivan. He's a guy. For those of us that had the opportunity to talk to him, yeah, obviously when I say I talk to these guys, briefly, it's not, but he's somebody that really loves to be here, loves to play for our fan base, and gives everything. That maybe is not enough. Yeah, it's everybody has a day where things don't go their way, but Ivan has been a good servant of the club, and I'm appreciative that this next Saturday we're gonna recognize that. Misael, if you don't mind reading the comments so we can move on because we're running out of time. We still haven't talked about our Open Cup and our league game coming up.
Okay, I think we were here where Ray says, "It's great to just win, baby." He also goes on to say, "Sometimes success is getting the most out of when things aren't ticking." Let's hope that is what April was. He also says a good team doesn't get dominated in the last 15 minutes when down. I love that we kept pushing forward the last 15 minutes.
Yes,
Amen.
absolutely. Especially since you could have taken it easy and been like, we're good. No.
Yeah, I kept yelling out loud in my living room. Keep the foot on the gas. Keep the foot on the gas.
Absolutely. Just a couple of small highlights before we move on. Team of the match days. I don't know that we've ever had this many team of the match days in a season. I can't even remember. Right?
It's been years.
And
Yes,
Oscars
it
on
was.
it.
It was
Like, I mean, give me a break. We
It was
had
3 on Wednesday
yeah
versus Charlotte, and 3.
for the Charlotte one, we have Martino Ojeda, David Brecalo, and Oscar. And then for this past game, we had Pedro, Oscar, and Joran Gerbe on the bench. Honestly, I think Joran Gerbe for me was the star of the match in that game. He was the unsung hero. He may not have scored those goals, but he kept at bay, which, if you really think about who this guy is and how long he's been around, for him to do what he did on that game is amazing. Right? I
You
mean,
know,
I
there's
thought for sure, given the last time we played Miami over there, it was going to be Araujo that was going to get into it with him. But I think that was probably part of the plan also. He did an amazing, amazing, amazing job. For me, I'm just like, I can't even imagine where this young man's going to be in a couple of years. If you look at the foot mob
absolutely.
ratings, our highest ranked player is Galese, but outside of Galese, you have Muriel is ranked at an 8. Following him are who? Alex Freeman and Joran Gerbe. Two of the youngest, least experienced players on our team. What does that say about what our organization is doing? Great things. I mean, I just had to.
Oh, I think we may
Yep,
have just lost him, but yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
Gerbe. Somebody put it on X last night during the match and said, a year ago he was playing against Holy Cross, and today he's playing. He's basically man marking Messi, and it was yesterday. I mean, you don't get many wins that can really set a season off and set a fan base on fire like a win against your interstate rival like that. And foreshadowing, if we beat Nashville Wednesday, we haven't lost to a team in the South, so our claim to the title holds true that we are the football kings of the South.
And for those people that keep saying that the college draft is a bastardized American intrusion in the game that doesn't belong, well, then you are not an Orlando City fan.
We mastered it.
Have dug gold out of that event, and I gotta say this young man did all the dirty work, and probably nobody's gonna remember what he did because obviously everybody always obviously goes to the goal scorer,
Yeah.
but it was fun. It was a
No.
fantastic night. Again, it's not easy to play against arguably one of the best players to ever play the game,
Yeah.
and to go out there and do it and be so humble about it. That it was great because Messi wouldn't even look at his way at the end of the game.
Yeah,
We
I mean,
last
and the
night.
thing about Gerbe that's sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The thing about Gerbe that I love the most is his movement without the ball. The
Mm-hmm.
dude, just his anticipation of where the ball is going to end up,
Yeah.
offensively and defensively, is incredible. Several matches back, him and Brecalo had a moment to break the press where literally they broke it in 2 passes because Gerbe came into a slot, Brecalo hit him, and then Brecalo went, and Gerbe didn't even look. He just knew Brecalo was going to be there and pass it off, and it's a tribute to both of those players that I've highlighted today. But just the class that those guys have and the understanding of the game, where you look at Gerbe and he's not the fastest player, he's not the tallest player, he's not the strongest player, but the dude knows how to play, and a part of that has to do with him being French. And I don't really know his background other than he came to us in the draft, I think, from Clemson. Um,
Yeah.
So, but if he spent any significant time whatsoever in a French academy, that's where all that comes from. Because that's what the French teach is positioning and anticipation and all those things. And the dude is just we lost to Tuesta. We went through a little slump while Araujo was out, and then we kind of had to find our way without a Tuesta. And hats off to Poppy, he's done it and found a more than qualified replacement in Gerbe. And yeah, I mean, and as far as the total match goes yesterday, one of our to go back to what my dad said, one of our most complete performances of the season from start to finish. It was just pure dominance. Yes, they might have won possession, but if you have possession and don't do anything with it, then it doesn't really matter. Um, yeah, I mean, I could relive the second half yesterday. The first half was a little stressful, but once we put that second goal in, you kind of knew where it was going with aging players and on the other team and kind of the form that they've been in. They've even though they still have 2 games in hand, they've played a lot of matches because of Champions Cup, but it goes back. We said it on the show, you know, 2 years ago when the whole Messi saga started with Miami. We called it, and now I'm sure most people saw that Messi's talks with extending with Inter Miami is, have stalled. So it doesn't look like he's coming back next year, which we called 2 years ago. And I think the referee organization is taking a stand because we know the first 2 years were just brutal watching us play against a team that had Messi on it, going back to the League's Cup. I mean, that League's Cup match made international headlines with how bad the officiating was.
Maybe they
So
finally watched the replay.
what's that?
In
I said maybe they finally watched the replay.
right, and in the defense of Pro, the refs were Concacaf refs.
Yeah, but even with pro refs, you still saw it constantly with a lot of the Open Cup matches had pro refs in it. Obviously, all the MLS matches had pro referees in it. And I feel like this year they've really taken a stand, and you see it with how they're reacting, during and after matches being Miami, and they're just constantly crying because they're not getting every call. You and that's how it should be. It should be fair across the board. Was there a couple calls Miami got that we didn't think were fouls? Of course, just like there were fouls on Miami that Miami fans didn't think were fouls either. So, but overall it was a good night. We do need to move on because we're getting late and we still have two
Yeah.
more matches and the Pride to go over.
Yeah, so we have this coming Wednesday in just under 1 day, 21 hours, 13 minutes, and 15 seconds. But who's counting? We are going back home to the U.S. Open Cup round of 16. We are hosting Nashville on May 21st at 7:30 p.m. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit concerned, just because we've been we've been busy. We've been busy, and this means, at this point, this is a once and done, right? So we need the 3 points. We need the win. So
Well,
Yeah.
all I
And
gotta
move
say
them.
to keep it moving, these guys, we destroy them on our way to win it. In 2022, they return a favor the following year.
yep,
But guess what, buddy? We are a total different team. We went to Miami, we did the business, and I can tell you when I spoke with Oscar at the event this year, I said I had to go. So I said, hey, Profe, I can't stick around, but I just want to let you know we're favorites to win the Open Cup. We have to go all for it. And he said it's a priority to me to lift that trophy again. So I think we're gonna take it seriously. If you can make it, please do. I already got my Paramount account ready to go. Unfortunately, gonna have to watch it from home, But the reality is, my friends, is that this is our best chance to lift a trophy, get back to champions, and I just don't think Nashville has what it takes. I just don't think they have what it takes to knock us out. We're at home, we are on a high, and the beauty of the tournament is we don't really have to win. If we can take it to PKs, there's a good possibility we can walk away with a win.
Okay.
Yeah, their fans are being awfully loud on social media, so it means that this I don't know why they think they're rivals of ours, but they do.
Because everybody's a rival of ours.
But their fans seem to think it's a real rivalry, and even before the weekend started, was already chirping and trying to start banter and such, or whatever you want, however you want to put it, on X. And to me, Nashville's just a bug that we have to squash. You guys had a couple years of success over us, but you look at what's happened the last couple years, and the club's been in turmoil. Hani Mukhtar has been virtually non-existent. I even think this year he's been non-existent. I think we're tied on points, and they have one more win than us. But yeah, I mean, if you can show up, it means a lot to the boys. It is the Open Cup. Back to what David was saying earlier in the show, people that want to be MLS haters say that there's no tradition in the MLS or in U.S. soccer. This is the greatest tradition in our sport, in our country. Is this tournament, and be there to support the boys, be there to support the tournament, and hopefully we walk away with the win, go into the quarterfinals. I haven't even looked to see who we face because we've had so many matches the last couple weeks. I haven't even looked to see who we face if we win. But yeah, bring it home, make it a winner, and we move on to the quarterfinals, and we're just at that point we're 3 matches away from lifting a trophy, and there's not much else to be said about that hasn't already been said.
I don't mean to jump in front of Misael, but I just gotta remind everybody: if you watch on social media what winning the FA Cup meant to the Crystal Palace fans, how many times we saw old men crying, saying, "I thought I was gonna die without seeing my club lift a trophy." People who have been following that club 70, 75, 80 years, saying, "I'm glad that I lived to see this." That's what it means. That's tradition. That's culture. The Lamar Hunt Open Cup, U.S. Open Cup, is the oldest trophy in our nation. Let's go get it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say much. You guys touched on it. Yes, I trust in our boys to get the win. We've been playing very good. I mean, in all comps, 12 straight unbeaten. To go back real quick on that Miami win last night, it's the first time that they lost, held to 0 goals since October 7th of 2023. Yeah, it's so it was a big deal. So I think our boys can handle Nashville on Wednesday. Poppy loves Open Cup especially, and he loves to win at home. So I think we got it.
Before we move on, if Messiah, we do have one more comment before we get too far down the road. If you want to hit that comment.
Oh yeah, Torb won. He says Julian Gressel said it. Miami clocks out after 30 minutes. I mean, yeah, I guess their age,
Honestly, I don't even think that's an age thing. I think that's a organization thing. We've all been there. We've had situations where the guys get to a point and you feel like the team is shut down. That's where, to me, that's what it looked like yesterday. They just, back to youth soccer, they get scored on a couple of times and they shut down. It's like, you got to keep going. I don't care if you're losing 12-0. You got to score that one goal to prove that you can score that one goal.
But we're not getting any calls, man.
Yeah, whatever, bro. Whatever.
And one other thing, I don't remember the exact date, is Gillespie's assist is our the last keeper assist was oh, come on, I just had it. The keeper that broke his leg last year.
Oh, Mason Stoudemire.
Yeah, it was Mason Stajahar to Duncan McGuire against Toronto
Oh, what a
2
goal, by the
seasons
way.
ago in 23.
And before
And
that was
that was Pedro's
Joe
second
Bendick.
assist.
I'm sorry.
I was just saying that was Pedro's second assist with us.
Oh, look at that! No, that's amazing. And before Mason, it was Joe Bendick to Kaká in 2018. No, I'm sorry, in 2017. And if you guys remember, it was the assist that we didn't get to see live because we were too busy looking at a wide shot from Almiron for the fifth time. Take
Yes.
the clocks, you morons. And we didn't get to see our goal live, but it is what it is.
Yes. All right. So that is the round of 16, Wednesday, May 21st. And then that very following Saturday, May 24th, we welcome at our home Inter & Co Stadium the team from Portland. Thoughts on that game, gents? Portland is where in the table right now on the West? Portland is sitting. Whoa, where are they?
Portland's
Well,
fourth in the West.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But it's a home match. What do we always say about home matches? You got to win them.
Yeah. Somebody needs to remind Miami that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I mean, when
Come
it
on
comes
now,
down
be nice.
to it,
Be nice, David. You're gonna hurt David Beckham's feelings.
yeah, you got to win with class. Which you guys have brought it up a couple of times. I love the new social media guy and what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're just the perfect amount of petty to keep it professional.
Yep.
Just enough where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Was it the post last night? What did they say? They made fun. To me, it was them making fun of Beckham with the players celebrating. I don't remember exactly what it said, but
Yeah,
it was
keeping it classy and with our guys, just
something to that effect. Keeping it
Just
classy
keeping it
after a
classy,
win
yeah.
or something. That was the effect of it. And yeah, I mean, Portland's always a tough team to play. They're one of the oldest clubs in the league, and they've always been right there, towards the top of the table in the West, and should be a good match. They do give up quite a few goals, though. They've given up 20 goals on the season. So we've only given up 16, and we'll see what happens. I don't, other than that, because since they're in the West, I don't know too much about it, because usually when they're on, I'm either driving home from a match or getting ready for bed after a match, and don't really get to catch many of the West Coast games. But yeah, it's good. It's nice having all these games back to back to back, because we get to see the boys play live in our stadium.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Pride.
Oof.
So the Orlando Pride. We'll start with the final score. Played Kansas City. They did not get the win. They lost 1-0 against Kansas City. Misael, do you have any detail for us on that? Did you happen to
Not
watch
much. It was just brutal. They scored 51st minute, and that was it. We had our chances, but just can't find the back of the net right now. But Marta played her 10,000 minutes.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
We're talking about players with 100 games, and this woman played 10,000 minutes.
The GOAT, too.
Yeah, that's 111 games. Does that sound about right? No.
No, that's 1,000 minutes.
10.
well, I'm bad at math, as my teachers will probably testify in front of you guys. It doesn't matter. That's a lot of football.
Yeah, man.
That's a lot of football.
Oh, yeah, that is wrong.
Privileged
My
to have this
apologies.
woman in Orlando.
That's crazy. That's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, they'll be playing this Friday versus Utah Royals, and hopefully they can bounce back.
And that's at home.
No, it's away.
Okay.
Okay.
7:30. No, I'm sorry, 9:30.
Yeah, yeah. 90 because it's 7:30 local. So got it. A quick thing as we're saying goodbye to you guys. Portland is coming cross country. So that balances out the fact that we're playing Wednesday at home.
Mhm.
But again, we have a deep bench that can go out there and do some damage. And then Saturday, I'm gonna try to be there and support the boys. I hate missing games. I have missed the last two, and I'm not happy about it. So go out there if you can. I want to thank everybody that watched us live. I want to thank everybody that is listening to us. We are three subs away from 500
YouTube.
on YouTube. Thank you. So I just want to thank the 13 people that this week decided to click subscribe. We appreciate it. And
And we'll
to
be we're planning trying to plan something special um for that match or for that
for
match
sure.
for the show after we hit 500. Maybe the second show after, just so we can get it planned out and details situated. But we're definitely planning on doing something special for hitting 500.
Absolutely, and remember that we don't have our banner, but if somebody can put the banner up, appreciate that. We're on pretty much all social media known to man. Just look us up. In 90 Minutes Podcast. It means the world. I try to be as active as possible on many of them. Some of them, we have a few people interacting with us, and others are, like Instagram. It's I believe Instagram and X are the ones that we have the most contact and traffic, and we appreciate that. We try to, listen, we're not here trying to be newscaster, insiders, anything like that. I've said it 1,000 times. We got jobs. We're very good at what we do in our personal lives. We just guys that are friends, follow the same club. We want to talk about it, plain and simple. If you are about the tactics and rumors and things like that, well, that's cool too. But we're here just to chew the fat, have fun, be funny about it, and entertain. So from myself, thank you very much for the support that you guys give us. Nothing makes my day like when I go to the games and somebody comes over and goes, "Hey, you're the 90 minutes dude," and they want to take a picture with me. I don't know why, but anyhow, the fact is, thank you, so appreciated.
Yes.
Because we do this because we just love Orlando City, and we hope that you do too as well. So with that, gentlemen, final words from everybody.
Yeah, Portland has a short week, and like David said, they're traveling across country after that. They play San Jose. Uh, is it
They play San
Wednesday?
Jose tomorrow.
Tomorrow, so that it's a shorter week for them. Um, no excuses not to win both matches again this week. I expect a heavily rotated lineup Wednesday because we only had 2 days rest between matches. So, busy time of year. And like I said earlier, it's a great time to be an Orlando City fan, a supporter of the club, and lots of exciting things happening all over the place, pretty much every aspect of the club. And, just makes me really proud to be a part of the community that is, or the Orlando City community.
Yeah. All right. So with that, we'll wrap it up. And we're going to leave you the only way we know how, reminding you that football is played on grass, not on paper, that football is cruel and unpredictable, that football is a pound of talent and an ounce of luck. And if you have not cried for joy or anger over football, have you ever really footballed? For John, Misael, David, myself, may God bless you. And as always, vamos, Orlando!